So I have to use the front-facing camera on my phone instead of the rear camera because when I had you in the tripod, I couldn't get it to where you could actually see me. And then the floor in this kitchen is very wobbly because it's like raised up. I don't know how to explain it. And so every move I made the camera do this, and it was pissing me off. I just wanted to tell you that I know it's been a couple days since you've seen me. I thought I had more back footage to get out, and I've been really busy, but there isn't any more back footage. We're all caught up. So we are to the present time now. Today is Friday, April 15th. I'm a little cranky because my dog keeps me up late and then barks at the sheep next door in the morning. Only on the days when I need to get a little sleep. But anyway, it's Friday the 15th of April, which means that it is Good Friday this year. Sorry, I know that these are loud. I remember that. And I am just quick putting the final decorating on the cupcakes that I sold for my cupcake order. And I thought maybe now would be a good time to bring the camera out and kind of tell you what's been going on with me. Or not what's been going on with me. We all basically know that. But I have to find the right tips I need for this design. Oh yeah, not the little one. Here you go. Basically, I've been alluding that there's a thing gonna happen, right? Like an exciting thing that I've been so something exciting that I've been working up to. What do I do with my scissors? Not my scissors, but they are scissors. So anyway, I've been alluding to something exciting happening, and I just found out, well, let's just start from the beginning. We all know I lost my job on the 11th of January, and that's been kind of the catalyst of the downward spiral. The catalyst of the downward spiral for this year. Not too long after that happened, a period of time, but I don't know how long. Not very long, not into February yet. The restaurant that I work at has been listed for sale for maybe about a year now, maybe. I actually want to say it's been listed for sale since August, and I think I got too much moisture in this icing, but hopefully it still crusts over the way we like. She's had it really priced really high, and she did that on purpose to kind of deter non-serious buyers, and so that she could have control over whether she was actually gonna sell it and all that jazz. She had an interested buyer, and she apparently told this guy that, okay, he wanted a turnkey operation. Let me explain. He wanted just a retirement plan, didn't want to have to put forth the effort of running the place or anything like that. He just wanted the assurance that somebody could run it and that she had a person who knew how to do it, etc., etc. And at the time, she had my work friend that moved away. She was the manager, although whole nother story, but she was never really treated as if she was a manager, who is about 10 years my junior. And while she is smart and has been doing this, I just have been doing it longer, and she gave those people my name. She calls me and she says, I guess the right thing for me to do is tell you, sorry this is noisy, you know that. I know these are noisy. Is to tell you that I gave them your name. Oh, you'd be good at it, and is that something you're interested in? And I was like, in my head, like, okay, like it's a trap, something's going on, and she just needs to keep you fair or whatever, like an insurance policy, but also like, yes, I'm good at it, yes, I've done it before, I told her straight up, I am interested. They're gonna have to pay me a whole lot more than you pay me to keep me on board for something like that. So she goes, oh, I know, I get it. We do all this like weird secretive stuff where, oh, we're gonna have a reviewer come check the restaurant out, so it has to be perfect, and all this stupid crap. How's that for a cute little robin's egg cupcake? I hope that buttercream crusts over or I'm gonna be real mad. Long story short, the dude like flakes off, and he either saw something he didn't like, or he decided it wasn't for him, or he didn't like her books, or whatever the reason was, he decided not to go forward with it. So she calls me one day, and this is still before we knew we had to move. So maybe only a couple weeks time has passed in all of this. I know you're going through big life change and blah, 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 and you like to do lots of different things, and where do you see yourself go? And I'm like, what is this girl getting at? I was like, just spit it out. And she tells me, I really want you to buy it. And again, I'm going, bad news bear. What's going on here? She's just using me to get out of it. Like, I want to see the books. Like, why didn't this other guy want it? Like, what other reason could she possibly have for trying to get me specifically to buy it? Because mostly I don't trust anybody. Not that I just don't trust her. So she has it listed at a certain price. And she says, well, for you, I'll knock off. It was like it was a significant amount. It was like almost $200,000 that she was going to knock off. I was like, okay, well, nobody's going to give me any money. So I cannot go to a bank and get somebody to invest in me. Like that's not an option. And she told me there's this guy in town who was actually my drama coach when I was in high school. He's on the economic development board for our county, which means they have resources to try to build the community, right? So I go talk to him, and he says, well, we don't have anything right now in the budget that we can give you, but there's this, there's like a Wyoming women's, I can never remember the name of it when I'm telling this story, but it's like a program where they help women start and build their businesses. You can get grants, and they have lots of good resources and stuff like that. He gives me the information for that, and my boss gives me an idea, a list of people who she thinks are probably interested in some investment opportunity, and like a little pep talk, like when I wanted this, I did what it took, what I had to do to get it, and that's how come I ended up with the investors that I had, etc., etc., etc. So I went online and I did a little research and found out what questions I'm supposed to ask, right? Because I don't know what question, I didn't know. I never even let the idea cross my mind that I could be somebody who could be in that position. Like, it just didn't compute. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't. I thought I had a second grass tip in here. I guess not. I do. So basically, I go online, I find all this stuff out, like, what questions am I supposed to ask? What things do I need to look at? How do I build, like, I kind of knew how to build a business plan, but all that other stuff. So I do all of this research, right? And I get all this stuff lined out, and I try all these angles, and I'm like literally stressing myself out with the what ifs and this, that, and the other thing, and how's this all gonna go, and everything like that. So I make a total fool of myself because I've talked to all these people, and I'm getting real discouraged, and I'm kind of getting met with a whole lot of like, it's not going to work because of your credit. We can't, like, we can't, Then she calls me up one day. Again, I remember what I was doing, and I want to say it was like the week before I found out I had to move. And she says to me, I just talked to the guy that's buying my house, and if I can get out of here sooner than the agreed upon original timing, which I think was like maybe the end of the year, like if I can get out of here by July or whatever, I will get a whole lot more money for my house. So I have determined that the money I'm gonna make is off my house and not the restaurant. And I'm gonna offer you, she basically cut in half what she asked me to come up with the first. So I was like, I say, okay, I can work with that, which I could. I knew I could figure that out. That was like somehow light at the end of the tunnel. It was so much cheaper and less daunting and less scary. It was just like all around better. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I don't remember what I was doing that made me think, oh, you gotta call this guy. But I called the guy that gave me my first bartending job. And I said, hi, how's it going? Haven't talked to you in 10 years or whatever. Here's what's going on. Here's why I'm calling you. And long story short, he was like, let's do it. We'll do it. So he's like, I need to see XYZ, like a whole list of things. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. So I call her right away. I'm still like excited, you know, from the conversation, can't even talk, I'm out of breath, I'm so excited. And I'm like, look, here's the deal. I need these things. And one of those things was her current tax return. Well, she hadn't done her taxes yet. I was like, okay, well, get me everything else, which she did. And when you get your taxes done, like kind of, you know, tell me what's up so I can tell him. And I will let him know and we'll address the rest of it when you get your taxes to me. And she gives me this weird sheet from an accountant that's like, this is what they're going to look at when I do my taxes. So give him this. And I did, but that thing, first of all, showed a loss, which is not good. And second of all, it's not what he asked for. If anybody has had to use a grass piping tip before, it takes forever and it hurts your hand. Anyway, this is right before, like probably the day before, it is the day before, I find out that I have to leave my home. So she says, I'm getting my taxes done, whatever. It was like one of the first days of March. I can't remember which. It doesn't matter. I'll get you the information then. Have this in the meantime. Ever since then, every time I ask her about it, she's got this, that, or the other excuse why she doesn't have it. She can't give me any clear information. She told me when she gave me that cost breakdown sheet thing, it was gonna look funky because part of it was a loan she had. So I asked her to explain to me how the loan affects it and how it's actually running at a profit. And she gave me this weird, like, step around the question explanation. And she's like, you should know how to read it, all this weird stuff. I'm already like immediately from the beginning trepidatious about it, and this is making me weirded out even more. And then on top of everything else, whatever that first Saturday in March was, probably the 6th, maybe the 7th, we lost 90% of our staff, which you guys, I've kind of told you, like everybody like moved away or had this and that and the other going on. So it was only myself and the boss's daughter left to wait tables, and a girl very, very part-time. And it was a nightmare, and I knew it was going to be a nightmare. And I was like, I got to step up to the plate. Like, I'm a good employee, and also like, if I'm going to own this place, this is how it's going to be, and I already know that, and I just need to show that I can do it and stuff. And the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm going, she's only doing this to string me along as an insurance policy so I don't leave. I want to say it was April 1st. Yeah, because it was a Friday. I sent her a message as I was walking into work, and I said, hey, have you gotten your taxes done yet? And she doesn't respond to me, but she comes in, which is rare for her to come in the night, and she comes in with like, I don't know, a load of groceries or something, and she's like, you and I need to talk, and she pulled me into the office. And she was like, here's the deal. I got a cash offer on the building. We've been going back and forth for the past 2 weeks. I'm sorry I've been lying to you. But she didn't like admit to stringing me along, but she admitted to lying to me, like to keep me in the back pocket in case this guy falls through. So she says, they're really pissing me off. They're not communicating with my realtor. They got a lawyer handling stuff, blah, 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 blah. I haven't heard anything. If I don't hear anything by 5 p.m. on Monday, I'll let you know. She goes, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. Because we were getting busy and I needed to get to work. And I'm the type of person that just wants to do my job and deal with the bullshit later. And also, like, no matter what, I need the money, da-da-da-da-da-da. Nothing's said, nothing comes of anything. And Monday rolls around and 5 o'clock comes and she doesn't say a freaking word to me. 9 o'clock at night comes and I send her a text and I say, did you hear anything yet? And she says, yep. So I just leave it at that. Then the schedule comes out and it says there's a mandatory meeting on Thursday. I have the Tuesday off. Wednesday, the cook's husband comes in and he said, I don't remember exactly what he said to me, but he was basically like, do you know the news? And I was like, oh no, what news? Because I barely told my dude about wanting to buy this place. Like, I was afraid I was gonna jinx it. I told my mom and my sister. I talked to my dude a little bit about it, right? Because I wasn't gonna make that big of a decision without him, but I played stupid and was like, oh no, what's going on? And he was like, well, the reason you guys are having a meeting on Thursday is because this dude bought the restaurant and he wants to talk to you guys. which ended up being bullshit. But so stuff's starting to sink in with me. Like, I already knew that I lost it, but it's starting to hit me. And like I said, I just kind of played dumb and let him talk it out. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you too much because you're not supposed to know, I guess, because you didn't know. So we have the meeting, and in the meeting she announces that she sold the restaurant, which is fine, right? Like, we all deserve to know. So she makes this announcement, and then she says that her daughter will be running the show. Her daughter is 25 years old because she just turned 25. Only reason she knew anything about a restaurant at all is because I trained her. And my friend trained her and her mom a little bit. But what I'm saying is we trained this girl. And I don't mean to be that person that's like, I'm not going to work for somebody younger than me. And we all know that that's basically not my mentality anyway. That really hit me hard. And I already knew how this girl was starting to act. And there's a whole dynamic I could never begin to explain unless you just lived the life with me and knew about how it is to work for that family. So I decided that over the weekend, I would give her a chance to see how she was going to handle management, because we were specifically instructed, take all the management questions to her. She has to prove herself, and she has to decide. It was put to us like she's got to decide if she wants to do it or not. I know some other stuff now that means that's not true. Without trash talking, because I'm trying not to do that on the internet, she failed that miserably. Sorry. I knew she was intimidated by me and stuff, and I knew that was her biggest worry. And after the meeting, her mom even like pulled me aside and was like, okay, good, I did get the right tip. I questioned that for a second. Was like, please don't abandon her, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's cupcake number 2 for the collection, a little carrot. And I talked to a like newish friend that I had made at work, and we had like a really long conversation. And this girl like she was like being a tyrant. It would take too much, and it would be too much negative putting out there for me to explain to you what I mean by that, but she was being horrible to everybody. I had a conversation with a friend, a new employee-ish, and also kind of new to that family because she's dating the brother of this girl who, and if you know like anything about restaurant business, like there's a lot of family when it's a small restaurant. But, you know, she's imported, and the brother, it's not like we're besties or anything, but we're pretty tight on a certain level. I gotta fix these things. We always have them, because before I worked for this woman, I worked for her mother at a bar. Whatever. So this girl is like awesome, and we were having like a conversation. Not like a conversation. We were having a conversation. It was real late at night after a shift. She stuck around and waited for me, and so that we could talk. The more, this is why I miss you. You know who you are, who moved away in your camper. The more we talked about it, the more I realized that I can't believe that I'm putting up with this, and I don't deserve this. And she literally only kept me to work me like a dog 6 to 7 days a week, double shifts, all of that, which, you know, I get it, money's good, but she's mean. She's mean. I thought she was my friend, but she's also just mean. I just decided that's not the life that I wanted, and I stayed up late at night on Monday, and I wrote her an email about how I felt, and told her, you know, this is how I feel, and this is why, and I can no longer work for you, and if you think that I should work out a 2 weeks notice, let's talk about it. And we decided ultimately that no, it was best if I didn't. That was really hard for me, and it's really kind of spooky because like I don't know what I'm gonna do to supplement that income, right? But even though I have like options, I have another job. It's just that it's scary. So anyway, so the cool thing was gonna be that I was gonna log in one day and tell you, hey, I'm at a restaurant, y'all. But it fell through, and I should have seen it coming, and it's my own stupid fault. But anyway, I'm sorry that the way I told that story was all weird, and I'm tired and I'm frustrated today, and I'm trying to get my cute little cupcakes done, and I'll show you footage of them when they're all finished. And thank you for listening. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Spit it out, Sarah.